Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Zeneration Nation Podcast. I'm here today with EJ.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to be talking about him as an artist, his work on Pixielmm, and whatever other things you've got going. Maybe you tell us or teach us a little bit about art and how all that works, because I am not an artist myself, and
Okay.
I'd love to get a little knowledge about it.
Yeah.
So why don't you describe yourself a little bit?
So what's going on, guys? My name's E J Neives. I go by Ness. That stands for No Eye Has Seen. And yeah, just a local artist here in Ocala, Florida. I have a studio in Workspace Collective 2 that just opened up. And then I have a gallery on 8th Avenue close to the fire station and the police station, close to downtown. So just trying to leave a stamp and build a platform and a foundation for other artists to be able to stand on, and build bridges to other cities for opportunities.
So is your gallery then for other artists to come to and post up their art?
Absolutely. That's COVID kind of slowed some things down in regard, because I opened last year. We've been open for about a year, but I'd say about a good 80% of that it hasn't been open 100%. So I haven't had shows and things like that, just because it's been very difficult to be able to have shows and have a lot of people in there for safety reasons. I just didn't really have shows, so I do a lot of stuff online, promote artists online.
Where can someone find you and the stuff that you promote online?
Also, for right now, so you can go to Nest Galleries, and then you can also, to see the artwork from other artists and myself, you can go to Nest Galleries on Instagram, and then also Nest Galleries on Facebook, and then my personal artwork is under Official Nest, Nehs, on both Instagram and Facebook.
So what have you been working on recently? You were actually late getting here today because of
Yeah, sorry about that.
because of some art that you had to work on today.
Yeah.
What have you been working on lately?
So today I was working on a commission. Lately I've been doing a lot of family portraits. So I was actually doing a portrait of a young lady's daughter and a little baby. So that's what I was working on. I had a hard deadline today, and I'm very, very sorry. So yeah, I was late. Sorry about that. But yeah, so just I've been doing commission work and mural work. That's kind of been the two big focal points right now in my studio. So yeah, it's been good.
I heard you when we spoke about getting you on the show last time. You were actually talking about doing a mural with Pappy, who we just had on yesterday.
Yeah, that's really cool.
How's that coming along? Is that moving forward at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've talked to Pappy. I got to talk to him again about that. So I don't really know the intricate details of that as of yet, but I know that it is in the works. They are looking for a muralist or a couple of muralists to do something really cool out there in the Memorial Park here in Ocala. So I'm just really excited to, whether it's myself, Pappy, both of us, or whoever, I'm just excited to see that thing come to life.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see it too.
Yeah,
when you get it done. So do you usually do like portrait work, or do you do like more creative ventures like?
So when I started off, I started off heavily with like comic based things, comic culture, pop culture, whether it's Marvel, DC, Star Wars. I do a lot of the Comic Cons, and it's interesting. I was actually having a conversation yesterday with my girlfriend about me going to MegaCon.
Okay.
And so I've been thinking a lot. I know my friend Andres Garcia, he's another artist, and Larry himself. Those are two local artists here in Ocala that they'll be going to MegaCon. It's in August. And so
is that in Orlando?
Yes, in Orlando. It's huge.
I've heard of it then.
Yeah, now this is this is pre-COVID, right? So they would have almost like 100,000 people go in 4 days. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's awesome. It's huge. Tons of cosplayers, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of cosplayers, hundreds of exhibitors, hundreds of artists, and then of course you got celebrities, comic book artists, voice actors, video game designers. They're all there, so it's cool. So gearing up, there's still some slots available. I need to go and check that out because I am interested in doing that, but I'm definitely going to Ocala Comic Con, which is in September.
So you mentioned you do like comic book art and particularly Star Wars art. And if anybody knows me, I am like a huge Star Wars nerd. What kind of Star Wars art you done? Because I gotta know.
Oh man, I'll be honest, man. I've done a lot of Darth Vader, a lot of Stormtrooper work.
Okay, you say Stormtroopers. What about Clone Troopers?
I've done Clone Troopers, not a lot, and it's interesting because a lot of people. Okay, so when I first started, a lot of people were not really digging Clone Troopers, and in the past 5 years, I'd say honestly, like Clone Troopers have gained some speed. Gained some love.
I mean, the Clone Wars was fantastic. I grew up on that shit, man. I remember 2007, I think. 2007, 2008, I was literally sitting on a treadmill with the TV above the workout treadmill, watching the Clone Wars as it was coming out.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that show. If you have some Clone Wars art, man, I'll look at that right now.
Okay, no, I'll send you some stuff that I've done. I don't have anything available at the moment, but I have done some Clone Trooper work for sure, man. So and then recently I've done a lot of Mandalorian stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
that's
excited
another
about that. Yeah, and then Boba Fett. I've done a lot of Mandalorian work really between Mandalorian and then Boba Fett. But super excited, man. Yeah, I've done a lot of my Instagram. If you have a chance, or anybody that's watching or listening, if you ever have a chance, check out Official Ness on Instagram. I have at this point thousands of pieces of artwork on there. I have about 3,000 posts. Easily 500 of those, are like Star Wars. Easily. I mean, I've done so much Star Wars work, man.
You're making me want to like get a new background for the computer.
Yeah, man. Check it out.
God, dude, I love you. Got me on a tangent now because
it's all good, man.
Right? The Bad Batch series is coming out right now.
Exactly.
Dude, you got to do some art for that because I bet you get some good hits off of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've only seen, I have not seen any trailers or anything. I've only seen like the poster art. Is there anything else out right now?
Dude, there's 6 episodes out right now. And there's
hold on, okay,
there's another one coming out in 2 days.
All right, hold on. I'm completely behind the ball then.
Dude, you gotta watch it.
Oh my god,
I'm
completely behind the ball.
The first episode, dude, is so beautiful looking.
Really?
Oh, dude, they've got like do you know anything about like
No.
visual effects?
No.
So like about 4th or 5th season, they hired a like a lighting effects artist who worked on like cinema movies.
Yeah.
To come in and start doing their lighting. So they got all this like mist work and lighting, and oh my god, dude, some of the scenes in there. Oh, they're so
Chef's
good.
kiss. Okay.
Oh, dude, they're so good.
I'm watching something tonight.
Dude, just watch that first episode.
Okay.
And then try and do like if you could do like a one based off the waterfall scene. You'll see it. It's like the first like 10-20 minutes of it. There's like this waterfall scene with all this mist everywhere. Fantastic looking. If you just did like a artwork based off of that alone,
yeah,
you'd probably do really well.
Okay.
You're just getting views on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I'm excited to check it out for sure. I thought I was still coming out because I remember the last time I even checked into it, they were just like the show posters on Facebook that I was checking out. But I've just been in my cave, bro. I've just been in my cave painting away and doing the mural stuff. So I haven't been able to really keep up with, like what's going on, on the streaming channels and things like that. So thank you.
So so how do you make your artwork, right? You I can see on your hands already you've got like physical paint. So obviously you work with live paint, not how much digital art do you do?
Oh man, I don't.
Just a mixture of both.
No, it's really minimal at this point. I'd say about 5 years ago I was doing some kind of digital stuff on like iPad, but that was just almost to kind of like sketch out things. Now it's all done by paint, acrylic paint, spray paint, inks. So a lot of mixed media on canvas. That's my biggest thing right now. So yeah, just physical painting on canvas.
How long does it usually take you to finish like an actual canvas painting?
Man, it depends, man. Sometimes days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes it could be like a small little piece I'll do in a couple hours. Oh, so really? It just kind of varies. Yeah.
What is your like process to go about? Do you like outline with chalk or not chalk, but like
Sharpie? Yeah.
Sharpie?
The first thing that I do is I always lay down like whatever I want to draw in Sharpie, and then I just kind of attack from there. But Sharpie's definitely become like a man. Shout out to Sharpie if you're watching right now or listening. hook your boy up with a sponsorship endorsement deal. Because I use a ton of Sharpies.
Yeah.
I
do you
draw
have a favorite type, like silver or the copper one.
Yeah, I like the copper one is good, but like I love fine. Fine and ultra fine are amazing drawing tools to me. So, but fine tipped is my favorite. Man. Yeah, you talk. Then the chisel tip is good too.
You talk about the Sharpie, and I'm like, he's using the big old Sharpie. That's weird. And I've seen the chisel one too. Do you ever? I actually watched this video. It was on YouTube Shorts, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just this dude with like this kind of thinner charcoal stick, and he was just like moving all around, just moving his hand, and it did like the kind of flat, like I don't even lighter.
Yeah.
And then he would like point it obviously and do the heavy lines.
That's awesome. I used a good bit of charcoal in college, but it just wasn't for me, man.
No.
I don't know. It's like weird. And then of course you see paint on my hands, but I think it's like the chalk that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Because it's like paint kind of dries and it's just kind of there. But like working with charcoals and things like that, man, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so like dusty and like it can get real messy real fast. So maybe that's a part of it too. And then sometimes the sound that it makes when it's like scratching the surface. Like sometimes it can scratch the surface a certain way. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that.
It's like it's one of the few things that'll just get me. It's like just like that noise and then a couple others, and it's like, nope, I don't want to be near you at all.
Yep.
Like, get that out of here.
So, but yeah, I mean, of course, for school, for college, we had to drawing one. Oh my goodness, man, so many like pieces of charcoal I use. But I did it reluctantly. I mean, I did it to keep going because that was a majority of drawing one was charcoal based.
Okay.
In college.
So you've got a gallery right now.
Yeah.
But you have like you had a studio before this, correct?
Yeah.
And so how do you necessarily make money out of it? Do people just approach you, or do you just like create stuff and then list it? What is your process to actually like, making money as an artist?
No, absolutely, man. I love talking about this piece of it too. So I have an online store. So you go to officialnest.com. It's under construction right now, but it'll be up in a couple days. Officialnest.com. You can buy stuff online. I have like a shopping cart, if you will. I'll paint pieces, put it online. I will then put pieces on my Instagram to showcase. And I took I worked really hard to build up my following on Instagram. I have about 40,000 followers on there. So it's cool because like the probability of being able to sell pieces online at a reasonable price is very high. So I am very grateful that I have a fan base and a support base that there's people that purchase my artwork online, but a majority of the time it's through Instagram, and it's just through people liking the post and then seeing that they can just click my website in the bio and they go straight to my website.
Do you make the same do you make the same artwork, or do you always just make something new?
Sometimes, so what I do is there's particular pieces that I like fall in love with, and so I'll make what I call a master.
Okay.
And so I paint the master, and then I'll actually make a stencil of the master and then paint like 20 of them.
How do you make a stencil? Do you
like with Mylar? Like you can make it with poster board, you can make it with Mylar. So you just draw it on there and then cut it out with an X-Acto knife. A lot of times I just kind of draw like the outline of what I want. That way it takes all the guesswork out of it. Like, because I could essentially draw it over and over and over again, right? But the stencil, if I were to, let's say I want to draw 20 of you. Okay. So I'll draw you first, and I'll paint you first, and then at the very end of my master, the very first one, I'll pull out the pieces of your drawing or your painting that will help me paint it fast. So like it'll be like your hair, maybe your neckline, where your eyes are.
So how do you pull that out? Is it like a material, or do you like put like some see-through piece and then
so it could be see-through. Mylar see-through. Sometimes I get it see-through, or you can get it frosted, and then you can have different gauges of it. So you can have thick or really, really thin, and kind of like a transparency, like back in the day with the overhead projectors, like that. So
those things.
And then you just draw it on there, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and then go to town. Like cut out the negative pieces or the positive pieces, however you want to do your stencil, and then you cut out those pieces, lay it out on a canvas, on a paper, on whatever you want. I use spray paint. I spray paint it to kind of get that outline, and I'll run it, man. I'll do like 20 of them, and then paint. I'll turn myself into a machine, and I'll just paint a whole bunch at a time.
You mentioned you had like 40,000 followers, right? Well,
yeah.
I can tell you're pretty popular, right? But I'm afraid Paps is beating you by 2,000. You got to get your numbers up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's at 42 now?
He's at 42 now.
That's on Instagram?
Yeah. Instagram, I think it's Instagram or TikTok. One of the two. He's like 42,000 on. So, you got a competition.
Oh, no, I do. I know.
You gotta be the bigger name on that mural, right?
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that he's growing, man. I'm at 95,000 on TikTok. So
there you go.
Yeah, so we'll see, man.
He's gotta pump his numbers up.
I love him, man. That's my bro, man. Pappy's awesome.
Yeah, he is. So you work with spray paint, right?
Yeah.
So I was in Vegas a couple months ago before I started this whole thing, and I went to big archway place. It was like all underground. I wish I could remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't know. You said yeah, I don't know.
But you've never been to Vegas?
I've been to Vegas twice, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I kind of go there and just
I wish I
hang
could
out.
tell you the place that I'm talking about, but it was really cool. It was like almost like a tunnel, above ground tunnel.
Okay.
Where it was just completely covered, and there's like shops, casinos, and then there's just a bunch of street artists everywhere.
Yeah.
And there was this one dude who really impressed me, who would like make spray paint art, like in front of everybody, just like with some strange process, and he would like do little teas and whatever, and then he would just put them out to display right in front of everybody, and you just buy them off there. You ever done any kind of art like that?
I've done a couple pieces like that. It's actually very fun to do. A lot of times those street artists will do like the universe scenes, like the space scenes, and they'll take like the newspaper, like, so while the spray paint is so wet, they'll put like newspaper down on it and like ruffle it up a little bit, and it'll kind of create the rocks. And they had like the circular pieces, like cups and bowls and things to kind of create the moon and all that kind of stuff. I've seen some very spectacular pieces like that.
Yeah, the one that caught me was, of course, the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
I really liked it at first, and then I started like examining it closer, and I started realizing like certain shapes were off because of the way that it's made,
Yeah.
obviously. And I was like, TIE fighter's not supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
So what is the type of art that you're most happy to make? Like what is your passion?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's actually a really, really great question. I'll be honest, I absolutely love abstract art.
Abstract?
Yeah, I have this thing called I call it like the strike series, and it's kind of because of like the aggressive nature of my strikes, of like how I apply the paint on
So what is a strike then?
So I fill cups. I fill cups with paint, and kind of like a bowling ball, if you will. Like I kind of like a bowling ball, throwing a bowling ball motion. I just kind of like aggressively throw cups of paint onto the canvas, and it just kind of creates these very like dramatic, almost like aggressive looking strikes across the canvas. And I'll do that in all different sides, and just kind of pull from different areas, create circular motions with different like pieces of cardboard or whatever. And that's my favorite kind. I think it's just because it's so expressive. I don't have to think about it. It's more instinctive. So that's my favorite kind of work, is abstract work, and specifically I call it the striking. Yeah.
Do those sell well?
Yeah, I've sold. I mean, at this point, I only have one piece left, and I've painted about 10 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they've been small, right? And then I've sold some that were like 3 feet by 4 feet, like real big. So like, so yeah.
How do you get those? You said it was small, right? How big is it? Like that big?
Yeah.
And it's just a little canvas in front of you. You're just like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, really, and of course, with something smaller, the cups are, you have different cups, right? So you have like the cup. It's like the Dixie cups that you use, like the kids and even adults, but they use it to pour the mouthwash in.
Okay,
like the little Dixie cups.
I'm thinking of like those red like beer cups.
The solo cups.
And I'm just like, you're throwing that much paint at a canvas.
Well, I mean, I have used solo cups full, but that's of course for the bigger
big ones. Yeah,
but for a small one, it's like a little Dixie cup. Yeah. Like a little cute kid Dixie
so
mouthwash. Yeah, and it's literally kind of like, like it's nothing crazy. But with the big one, it's kind of aggressive looking. Like I get into it and I have a lot of fun with it, and it just, the more dramatic, of course, the more strikes. Like the crazy the spread, because sometimes it'll hit the side of the canvas in such a way, and it'll just explode, and then like half of it will hit me, but then the other half will hit the canvas. It's crazy. Oh
my god, I hate splashback. You ever played airsoft?
No. I bet paintball, but not airsoft.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
With BBs, right? In airsoft, though, you're like shooting at a car and it'll just smack you right back in the face.
Oh no!
You fire too much. That's what I imagine. You're just like, why are you hitting me?
Have some goggles on or something.
Oh, dude, I love wearing goggles for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate the big mask. I like the goggles right on my face, a little thing right over.
You paintball as well?
No, I never got into paintball.
Okay.
Because I didn't like the guns because I hated the hopper system.
I see.
I don't know if the CEP will let me, but I'd love to bring some of my airsoft guns here to hang on the walls because I love them.
Yeah.
I got this M4 one that's my baby. Shoots like 440 FPS.
Oh, wow.
And it'll bleed you at like 10 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. It hurts. And it's literally like a stream of BBs when I have my like, was 1200 volt LiPo in it. Like you could, it's like a stream of water, right? You poke your finger in there and a bunch of them just smack it. Yeah.
No, I knew you. I felt like you enjoy guns because we were doing the Nerf war thing here, and you pulled out a freaking Gatling gun, which I didn't get a chance to shoot it. But that thing, I mean, because I didn't want to like scare people because there was still a lot of people around. But it was intense, bro. It had like the clip. The clip had to be like, I don't know.
I know you're talking about the Stampede.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 32 round drum mag. It's sitting over there. I'll let you shoot it.
That's amazing, bro. This is glorious. This looks awesome. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm a big fan of it. I think the orange one I had that stings like.
And you told me that you had that when you were a kid.
The Stampede I did.
Yes.
That orange one I picked up recently for the office Nerf wars.
Wow.
Yeah, the Stampede though, it's I never got to use it like full auto as a kid because I never had the money to buy the double or the D batteries for it. So that was like one of the few Nerf guns I still have that actually works really well because I never got to fire it that much as a kid.
Wow. That's cool, man. Yeah, I'll be honest, I as an adult, I see Nerf guns all the time or whatever. You go to Target or Walmart or anywhere. you see them, you're like, oh, that's dope. But it wasn't until coming to the power plant and just understanding that you guys kind of have a Nerf war battle kind of going on here that it really opened my mind and my eyes to how cool they could be as an adult and what you can do with them that actually have a lot of fun. So.
Oh yeah, Nerf guns were actually how I got in airsoft because my uncle, when we were like 7 or 8, something like that, he bought a bunch of Nerf guns for us, and then we would shoot each other in the house, run around.
Yeah.
And then he ended up not liking it as much because it didn't hurt enough.
Oh.
So he got us into airsoft, and that's how we learned how to like actually treat guns properly and learn proper techniques with it.
Yes.
But I showed him that orange one for my brother's birthday. He walked into my grandmother's house, and I popped him. He was like, "What the hell is that?" And yeah, I was like, "This is what we needed when we were kids. It's that power."
Oh my goodness, that's so good, dude.
Yeah, you should. Have you ever tried like painting with like paintball guns?
No, but I've thought about it. But now that you're bringing it back up, it would be awesome. I wonder if I would blow through the canvas though, unless I just do it on wood,
Well, or wood would probably be good, or maybe just putting something behind the canvas.
Yeah.
Get like a low FPS one, like maybe a 300 to 350 FPS.
Okay.
Paintball gun, and then just like. I don't know if you would load it with like the same color balls or multiple colors.
That's awesome. My boy, shout out to Daniel Gray. He has some guns. I'm going to actually talk to him about that tonight.
What, the paintball?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to talk to him about that tonight. And when I do it, I'm going to video it and make sure that
you got a video because I want to see it.
I want to show you. Yeah.
How did your guys' Nerf video come out? I haven't seen it yet.
No, it's coming out good. It hasn't been released yet. We're actually going to be filming tomorrow. So we're doing 2 scenes. We did the Nerf war battle, if you will. It was we call it John Wick, but we kind of thought that we were kind of test running it with some people, and some people actually thought it was more like Bourne Supremacy, like the Bourne series, like kind of like how we shot it. So we're still going to say John Wick, just because John Wick was who inspired us to do that. But the fight sequences are more like Bourne style, and even like how it's cut real like real choppy, and real quick hitting chops. And so anyway, we're gonna be finishing that shoot tomorrow because we really would love to release it, not this weekend but like next weekend.
Yeah, your boy here is also in it. He gets intimidated by the big guy, Greg, who I was trying to get him on the show tonight, but I guess he had something come up tonight.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I'm trying to get him on next week.
Yeah.
I'm still sad we didn't film. I can't tell you how much I wanted to do this. I wanted to film a scene coming out of the elevator with a gun just going.
Oh my gosh! And honestly, like I'm gonna be honest, like we're gonna have to do some more stuff with that because when I saw you with your gun, I was like, oh my god, like. I have to create something for this specifically because it's so epic. And I think it might have to be like you and Greg because Greg has those 2 big ones and then you have a big gun. So maybe it could be like a part 2
what's
later.
I was thinking while you guys were shooting, I was like, the intern needs to come back and get Greg for intimidating him.
Yeah, because I don't want to ruin it. Let's just say Greg, Greg could probably make it to a sequel. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to ruin it, but I guess I did, but I didn't. But anyway, and so if there's a sequel, enter you.
It was so funny, though, when I was finally leaving the office that night, and I just saw the 2 trucks in front of Mark's, and I came out, and you guys are all just out there, and I'm like, I work here, right?
Oh, man, no. And the thing is funny, like, people on Facebook probably thought we were crazy because we released the kind of like the behind-the-scenes footage of the trucks whipping around the corner. But we had a lot of fun, man. And, of course, nobody got hurt. Everything was all good. But it was a good day here at the power plant shooting.
It was fun. We were trying to shoot another show that day. And then audio issues canceled it. And then we got to see more of what you guys were doing with it.
Oh, man. Yeah, we felt bad. We were trying to stay quiet because we realized that you were filming in here and that you were so ultimately that it didn't work out, or
there was a massive problem with the audio. Like I think it was a grounding issue. It was causing such distortion in the audio that it was just entirely unusable.
I see.
And before it even got started, I just cut it because it was going to take a couple hours to try and figure out, and it ended up taking 3 days of because like I said, the whole studio has been rewired. And
look, I mean, it looks a little different. The orientation from the video is different for sure. So
I've rerouted the cablings differently. A lot of it's going to end up going through the ceiling at some point when it gets there.
Yeah.
But,
How long have you been here in this spot?
Oh, dude, it's been what is it, June?
Okay.
June? So About 45 days ish.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Congrats. It's a nice spot.
it is. I like my office.
Absolutely.
I like being able to have these kind of conversations with people. This is what I want to be doing, right?
Yeah.
These cool conversations. We've got I got a cool project that's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Maybe within the next 2 to 3 months, once we get the funding for it. We've got a D&D production going on.
Yeah.
We're gonna get 5 people in here plus players, a DM playing.
Okay.
And we're gonna shoot a live or a full production of it. We're gonna create like full story content that other people can play off of.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna try and get like minifigs made for custom monsters and the NPCs and PCs. There's a lot that's gonna go into it. It's gonna be all written as we're playing.
Okay.
And then it's gonna be combined into a book that people can get a hold of.
That's cool, man. Have you you already have your squad? Everybody that's gonna be a part of it?
We've got at least 4 partners right now.
Okay.
It's me, a guy by the name of Doc. I haven't met him yet. I got about 2 weeks. 2 weekends till he comes back, and I get to meet him.
That's cool.
There's gonna be oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Ziggy. Ziggy's
okay.
involved,
Yeah.
And then David Lugo.
I was about to say, because if you didn't say David Lugo's
Yeah.
name with D&D, I was like, bro,
Yeah,
you
he's-
gotta. If there's one thing I know about David Lugo, he's D&D, man. He's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be our DM.
That
I
is
played with him
fantastic.
last Saturday, and he was fantastic. We're just looking right now. I think what we're doing is we're looking for 2 female players
Okay.
to be the kind of counterbalance to
Copy
3
that.
male players, and it's gonna be.
Put a call out on Facebook, man. I'm telling you, you'll find him.
Yeah, that's Ziggy's job. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
If you got it covered, you have it covered. That's cool, man.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons why the whole studio got reorientated. Like,
Okay.
right, there's gonna be like 6 microphones from the ceiling. Cameras are gonna be all mounted on the walls.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be Will it be live stream? Will it be videoed, and then it'll be a video for later?
So the plan right now is, at least in our heads, we're gonna try and make 6 or 5 solo videos for like character introductions for each player, right? And then I believe we're gonna have it be live, the live game. It'll be like 3 to 4 hours long.
That's cool.
And I think the material we played off of is gonna be uploaded after the video is up.
That's cool.
So other people can like play in the adventure, and then they can play week after week with us. Yeah. Kind of in that same vein. See what decisions they make that's different than ours.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember learning about D&D and you know, kind of just understanding the different cultures. You correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of times the D&D culture, right? Isn't it like it's not just like a one and done. Like you are with a squad for a long time.
So there's things called one shots where it's like a single adventure. You start at the beginning and then you end and the story's over.
Okay.
Then there's like a campaign, which is usually they can usually last between like 6 to 12 sessions.
Okay.
And then there's like a real campaign, which is like long. Like what we're planning to do is like a level 3 to level 20 adventure. This is like a long campaign that's gonna happen. And it's gonna be all written while we're doing it. It'll be really cool when it's.
Please tell me that you guys are like dressing up and everything.
I don't think we're gonna do that.
Okay.
But you'll like this.
Yeah.
We have talked about. So you see these panels behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about getting like custom emblems for each character, and
That
then putting
is
them
cool.
on panels behind us, like tapestry.
Yes.
flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. At least that, because I told myself, man, if I ever get into D&D, bro, I'm going hard. Like I'm dressing up. You know, I'm gonna figure it out.
We're getting character art done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get custom overlay frames for it. So like what we got right here.
Yeah.
We're gonna get custom ones. So there's gonna be like the screens, and then we're gonna have character like little token things that actually have health bars that go down when it gets really rough.
That's cool, man.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things. That go into the production
I see you.
Oh dude, it's gonna be an amazing production when it starts getting going.
Yeah. I'm happy for y'all, man. That sounds cool. I will be anticipating that for sure.
Oh yeah, we're just Ziggy's trying to figure out how we're gonna get the funding for it right now. We're debating on whether we do a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe.
Okay.
Whichever one we do.
Yeah.
We're looking for like $10,000 to get it going off the ground. But no, it's super exciting. The worst part is waiting to get it going, right?
Yeah.
Like you ever made a character for like D&D or something?
No, but the thing is, I love that, man, because I've created characters myself, like just because I have aspirations of having my own comic book one day, and so I've made up characters and things like that. So that's right up my alley, bro. When you start talking about D&D and things like that, it's funny because I've never played it, but I feel like I would fit right in just because I love that aspect of.
It's so much fun. When I went to play with David last weekend,
Yeah.
I came and made a brand new character like an hour before it started. Her name was Vice.
Yeah.
She is exactly what the word states. She's like a kind of a Jersey-ish character. Very like kind of disrespectful and just full of like attitude.
Yeah.
And she smokes what are called death sticks, which is something I made up. And basically, they're just cigarettes, but they're super poisonous.
Okay.
Because the race that I'm playing is immune to poison, so it doesn't affect me any. But
oh wow.
I try to get other people to take them. And I actually managed to damage our healer with it. I was so useless in the game. I actively harmed the party more than I did anything else. I gave him a death stick. I was like, "Here, smoke it," and he failed the save to not get hit by its effects. And I rolled half his health away.
Oh man!
And then we got into combat.
Oof.
Yeah. No, it is so much fun. Just
That's
to like
cool.
role play and just have a thing. If you want, you should come down Saturday and try it out. I don't know if it'll be as packed. There was 9 of us there last time.
Where is it? Where do you guys go?
We play at BizTech's office.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was the most fun I've ever had at a tabletop, which is saying something, because I've never had like a good time at a tabletop.
Yeah.
And usually you don't have a good time with like 9 people, or because usually parties are between like 4 to 6 max, and 9 of us there. It was just a really good time.
Yeah, growing up, it's funny now that I'm an adult and I can afford it. I don't really know who to play with, or I don't even know. And maybe I've lost a little interest of it. But when I was a kid and I couldn't afford it, I used to love like Warhammer 40K, and I was always about like wanting to get into it. And I could only afford like just like the figures, but I always wanted like the tanks and like the $200 statues that did the crazy stuff. And then they started getting into like planes and things like that with like the Space Marines. But I don't know, man, I love like tabletops, watching it, like I like to be like a fly on the wall, like watching it happen, because it's just so fun. Like I feel it's just so fun. I used to play Magic, like
I'm gonna be a real big nerd and pull out I literally just
I saw that on the table.
I literally just bought these figurines. Where is it? Right there. Here, switch to me. There you go. I bought these figures for it, and the bottom one is gonna be Vice for when I pull it
that's
out.
what's up, man.
Yeah, I don't care about the top guy right now.
I don't care about him.
I just wanted the character model because I wanted to have it on there. And then,
that's awesome.
Then I clearly am not responsible with cash. And went and bought some metal dice too.
I'm not responsible with cash.
There we go. Check those out.
Oh yeah, this is sweet, man. Loving it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love those things. Roll that plastic colorful one. Watch how it bounces. It's like almost like rubber.
Yeah.
The way it bounces.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. This is cool, man. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man, I love all this stuff. It's just a matter of time till I get into it. I've just been so busy, man, to be able to dedicate some time and money to it. But it's like Magic the Gathering, like Friday Night Magic, Warhammer, D&D. Those are all things that I've always been interested in. And
you gotta try it, dude.
Yeah, one of these days. It's coming. It's coming soon.
It's a lot of fun. So now that we've tangented off,
I know, right?
20 minutes,
Total tangent.
So let's go back to your gallery, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of art do you show there? Because you said it's like other people's art, right? It's not necessarily your own.
Yeah. So for example, I've shown Andres Garcia's artwork. I've shown Og Element, and I've also shown Larry himself, and then I've shown my work there. So so far, there's been about 4 artists, including myself, that have been there, and it's just a different, it's just capturing their style. I kind of like to say that the gallery is progressive. I'm down with abstract. I'm down with anything, but I love artwork that is progressive. I love artwork that is comic themed, colorful, and not that I would like necessarily turn away anybody that doesn't do that, right? But I just, at the moment, I haven't had anybody approach me that is not those things, that would like to hang in the gallery. But I'm up for anything,
So do you sell other people's art that comes in there, or is it just for show?
Yeah, I sell it as well. Like I said, with COVID, it has been a while since I've had other people's artwork in there, but during that time, yes, I was selling other people's artwork out of there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what would people have to do to contact you to get their artwork hung up in there if they were interested?
Yeah, no, for sure. You can definitely the best way is to find me on Facebook, and so on Facebook I'm Ness Galleries, NEHS as in super, so Ness Galleries, and just send me a DM, show me a portfolio, give me an artist statement, and we can start from there.
What would an artist portfolio look like? Because me and Pappy talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I am like the worst person when it comes to portfolios. Everyone asks me, "What's your video portfolio like?"
Yeah,
yeah. So it doesn't exist. So what would you put in an artist portfolio?
Yeah, no. If an artist came to my messenger and or my email, you can email me as well, but it's way better on Facebook. I'm just able to respond a lot faster. What I would say is send me 10 to 15 images of your best artwork. It could be anything, whatever you consider your best artwork, with an artist statement, and that to me is a portfolio. Like at least 10 of your strongest pieces, boom, ready to go.
Oh man, see, I can't do that because like if we were actually comparing my actual video work, most of it's horse videos.
Okay.
Right, and there's a couple thousand of those.
There's a couple thousand.
Well, I mean, you sit there for 18 hours a day, 3 days, an event, and you get thousands of them.
Wow.
Like if I sent you to my boss's YouTube page, which is where most of the stuff is, because he cuts them and then uploads them.
Yeah.
And that's how he sells his videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you could go through like what is it, 20 what? Oh God, like 2016 to 2018 is when I worked for him.
Yeah.
And a good chunk of those would be videos that I filmed personally. But that's like those are things you're just gonna keep on a hard drive somewhere and be like, here's my portfolio.
Here's all of them.
You got like a year to watch horses going figure eights. Yeah, me neither.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, it's all good. I mean, like I said, and then even from all those though, if that's what your portfolio consisted of, I'd say, man, just grab 10 of them. You know.
Oh, dude,
give them to me.
It was so funny. My coworker, the people who used to work with me, used to be like, "Dude, you're like a robot," because I legitimately didn't look at the camera anymore. I had gotten proficient with filming those stupid horses, and I say that in the nicest way.
Yeah.
But you can only see them go around so many times. I legitimately developed a system where I didn't look at the camera anymore. I reverse gripped, opposite hand, would watch videos on my phone while filming.
Wow.
Not looking at the subject at all. I'd be looking at like a tiny screen or the laptop that was streaming it.
Yeah.
And I'd film it like that. And I was like a robot. I didn't need breaks. I just sat, and because I developed the system so that I could sit down. Because I can't stand for long periods of time. I got very flat feet.
Yeah.
I was like a robot. The only person who I think did better than me at filming was the guy who actually went to film school.
Yeah.
And my boss. But they also both did it standing, and no one could ever copy my technique.
Yeah.
There was a couple people who tried to, and they got yelled at to get back to work standing up through filming.
Oh, wow.
Because they just couldn't do it. So I've never bothered to develop a portfolio because, you think, in my eyes, what your skill is like your resume. Like, let me do something for you. Let me show you what I can do rather than just have a bunch of things for you to look at. But that's not really the case in most artistic fields, right?
Yeah, like in my case, like, essentially, let's say you didn't have a portfolio, you were an artist, and you were like, hey, check out my Instagram. I mean, that's your portfolio too, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. So either A, send me 10 to 15 really good ones, or send me to your Instagram, or somewhere where your pieces are just at. That way I can take a look at it. And then we'll go from there.
So, stepping away from the gallery now, we're going to talk about your hat, right? You got the Pixielmm hat on. What did you actually do for Pixielmm? Because you're clearly an artist, right?
Yeah.
What did you do for Pixielmm?
So right now we're currently creating a marketing campaign. So that is my piece of the puzzle. I'm the marketing director for Pixielmm. So like all of my artistic, my love for being an artist and my love for marketing, because not only am I an artist, but I'm a marketeer, if you will. Mm-hmm. I love social media. And so that's my part to play. So it's me, Daniel Gray, and who we lovingly call Tay-Tay. We make up the Pixielmm team. And so we all have our different roles and our skill sets. And mine is marketing and bringing an artistic vision with the marketing. So.
Yeah, because we had Taylor on, 2 weeks now, Justin? 2 weeks now, yeah.
Yeah.
And, He was the programmer for all of it.
Yes.
So you were the marketeer. What is Daniel? Is he like the sponsor?
Yeah,
Or
no, I mean
the
he's
idea
really he's the chief visionary officer. So I mean it's his baby. He's the one that created it. It's been in his head for 10 years, and Tay literally brought it to life, man. And so yeah, no, he is Dan is the Elon Musk, if you will, of Pixielmm.
I mean, if you've looked at him, he's kind of got that look. He's got more of a chubbier Elon Musk. Nice guy though.
No, that's my bro right there, man. Yeah, he's a great dude. You know, and he's pushing the ship forward, steering it forward, and he just has a lot of ideas, man. Because ultimately, in the future of Pixielmm, we have a lot of ideas for AR and VR, and this is cool because having somebody like Tay on board and as a partner and knowing what he's capable of doing, man's a genius. Like, it's just really cool to see what they're always up to in their office, and him and Jonathan.
I hang in there all the time.
And then, oh my gosh, his other boy. Who's the other boy? Who's the bro? So there's Jonathan.
You got John, Taylor, and then Justin goes in there, and then
isn't there Andreas?
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Andreas. Yeah, so he's the one I haven't met in person.
I haven't met him in person.
Shout out to Andreas. He's like this mystery, like
dude,
he's a mystery, bro.
Dude, you go in there though. He's on the phone or on the computer.
Well, yeah. When we walked in there real quick, I did see him, and I was like, oh, that's how you look like.
Yeah.
Because they always talk about him. You know.
I gotta meet him in person sometime.
Yeah, me too.
What's sad though is like I've seen him in person one time. My first day here. I walked into the office and there was all 5 of them, I think there was 5 of you in there, and I saw everybody, but I talked to John and Taylor, and then I never saw any of them again for a while until I met Justin again, and he's been gracious enough to help us out here running the buttons.
That's awesome.
In the back.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever met you actually in person. This is the first time, man. What's up? It's cool, man. Yeah.
So where are you guys going forward with Pixielmm, right? You said you're the creator. How does your like social media marketing work? Because I know nothing about it, so I'm curious.
So ultimately, for me, like, and I'll talk for myself because how I run it will ultimately be how I run Pixielmm and anything else that I put my hands to or I'm a part of. But for me, it's just all about I call it the wave, and this is generating interest from start to finish, and whatever it is, an event that's happening. Being on a podcast, anything like that. So it's actually before I know we were kind of getting together, I meant to take a picture because I was going to post that, but we'll get that picture in.
Dude.
Because I want to shout you out, of course, you guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
we are trying to grow.
Yeah,
at some point I don't want it to the point where like I need the shout outs. I want to be able to give the shout outs to the interesting people.
Let's go.
Up, right?
And so with me, it's always about being like top of mind. And so I probably post about 15 to 20 times a day on all my platforms. And so between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, definitely about 15 times a day. And that can be anything from a story to a reel on Instagram to just kind of posting my thoughts or like a picture of you or a picture of your studio. It all varies, man. And it's always just making sure that you're being on the top of, keeping top of mind of your consumer, the person that is consuming your content. And so for me, Facebook has shown me a lot of love locally, so I like to post all the endeavors that I do, the people that I'm associated with, the people that I'm partnered with, the things that I'm doing, anything philanthropic, my art if I'm selling art. So it's always like every day just kind of being on top of always being able to share about something that has to do with your company or something that your company is involved with or partnered with or something that you care about personally in life.
That's kind of insane, right? Because I'm like, if you know me, I use social media like I don't. Basically the thing. The only thing I really use is YouTube, and that's just usually watching. I've been trying to get better at like just posting a single video a day about a topic that I'm interested in talking about.
Gotcha.
But like you said, 15 times a day on every platform. I'm like.
Or among every platform, so
okay,
not each one.
That's like,
but among all three, because I have Twitter, but I don't use Twitter, and I also have Snapchat, but I don't use Snapchat.
So you said it's usually like a picture or like a little.
Yeah, so it'll be like, so for example, like on Facebook, like there's a couple different opportunities you can write a thought. So like when you write something and you have like the colored background on it, and it's like all bold letters. I'll do that maybe 2 times a day, just to kind of share my thoughts. Like, oh man, boom, boom, boom. Like it could be about anything. I'll share my thoughts. Or like For example, I went to Publix and I thought it was interesting that Liquid Death. I like Liquid Death, like the water that's like canned, like a beer can. It's called Liquid Death. Yeah, you've never heard of it?
I've never heard of this.
Okay, so Google
and
it.
it's in a can?
It's in a can. So it's literally bottled water in a beer can. So it looks like you're drinking beer, but it's water. It's called Liquid Death.
Oh my God.
And their whole gimmick is like you're killing your thirst. But anyway, so it's called Liquid. It's called Liquid Death. And anyway, so I was at Publix last night, and they sell. They have tall boys, like beer cans have tall boys. So they sell them in a 12-pack like a 12-pack of tall boys in this really dope like packaged cardboard box. And I just held it in my hand, took a picture of it, and put on Facebook just because I thought it was interesting. And so a lot of times, for me, things that I find intriguing, things that I do intentionally, like for example, when I take a picture of us in the studio, that's going to be an intentional photo to shout you out.
Yeah.
I'm on your show. I'm intentionally shouting you out and your company, your business. So I'll do that. Or if there's if I'm at 1 million cups, I'll go Facebook Live. Yep. Or if there's something you post, I might share something. Like I'm very intentional about sharing other people's content too, because I consider that a post. If you post something about, I don't know, DnD that I was like, whoa, that's amazing, and I found it amazing, I'm gonna share it. So I also add that into the mix of the 15.
I'll tell you about my evil dice.
So yeah, man, like I love social media, building the platform, because ultimately, social media does help. And what I've learned too with your podcast, if you want people locally, Facebook definitely will help you on a local level to get more guests in if that's what you desire.
Yeah, I want to get I want to have like a continuous stream of guests.
Yeah.
Just interesting people who are doing things or just know things. Like I'm actually quite surprised at all the stuff you do, right? Because I knew very little about you coming into this. I had to actually ask Taylor and John a little bit, so I had some talking points.
Yeah.
Just talking with you, we've gotten a good conversation going right now, and it's been super enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it too, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really good, like, because we've actually talked about a lot of different things.
Well, that's kind of the point. That's where
yeah,
that's where this needs to go, so that so that it's a long form video that's entertaining and enjoyable for people to watch.
Exactly.
It's the point of this is not to be like super formal or
gotcha.
Super. It's supposed to be like two buddies getting together or just meeting somebody at a bar, right? This is how I started explaining it. When I sent Greg an email talking about what the show was like, I was like, it's like two people meet at a bar, and it's like, hey, what do you do? Oh, that's super cool. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to know some more about you. That's what this is. I hate formal stuff, right? I like just the cool, relaxed, casual kind of way.
Yeah, and I definitely feel it. I'll be honest, man. I started feeling that when we jumped into the D&D conversation, because for the most part, a lot of podcasts kind of like run the same. There's a formula, to podcasting to a certain degree. But I'll be honest, when we started talking about D&D and we just kind of like went off on a tangent and you allowed it to, I was like, because a lot of times podcast hosts will be like, oh, like, all right, cool, let's reel it back in. Like, and we reeled it back in, but after the whole thought was done. A lot of times that doesn't happen.
I am a tangent machine. I will talk your ear off about something stupid. I mean, we got on a tangent with the Star Wars thing because you caught me on it, and my brain's like, Star Wars, must talk about it, right? And that's the kind of vibe that I want to get from the show.
Absolutely.
Whenever I get like that, because when I talked to Pappy yesterday, it was all Pappy the entire time. And that's cool and all, because like we're learning about his life story and everything.
Yeah.
But it's not like full conversation. And I mean, granted, I also was doing the switching for it, so my attention was entirely split. But
yes.
The more like back and forth conversation is what I really want to have happen in here. And sometimes it's lost when you're like interviewing a person for what they know and what you want them to share with you.
Yep.
Like it's that fly on the wall mentality, right?
Yep.
You're interested in them and what they're gonna say.
And I think you hit it on the nail, though. You hit the nail on the head with that one in regards to like the bar conversation, or just like meeting. I always think about like just when you meet somebody like for the first time at a party, or just like your friend introduces you to another friend and you're trying to get to know them. It can be kind of like awkward in the beginning, but then there's like a stride that happens when, for example, you learn that the other person likes Star Wars. I'll never forget. I met a dude, and we were cool. It was fine. Everything was just chill. But the moment I told him that I met Stan Lee, he was like, "Wait, what? Like, let's talk about that." And it literally was like like a switch. And so it was cool, man. So yeah, I definitely feel like we hit a stride in this conversation where it was like, all right, cool, we're on the same page with a lot of stuff.
On thing, and it's like, oh, let's go, let's talk, let's get into this. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
That's the feel that we're gonna go for, and then I'm gonna keep striding to get. And you know, as this goes on, right, it's gonna get a lot better.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think I think it's probably the best conversational aspect or production that we've had so far. I mean, granted, we've had technically 5 now. I had one with Tom. Do you remember? Did you ever meet Tom Schmitz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
I used to work.
He's cool.
I was his switcher.
Okay.
When he first started out, I worked for him for a year, and then he was my first guest, but I failed so badly with producing the show that first time on my own because I was trying to do the switching and I was trying to talk to him, and you know, I used to do it with the headphones on, but you could hear yourself, and that just throws you off entirely, right?
Oh man.
But that wasn't what ruined it, right? That wasn't what made it so that wasn't going to be the first show. What ruined it was I don't know if I accidentally selected it or there was a mistake in my software's current update where recording the audio for it set it not to the master audio mixer but to channel D, which I know channel D. Gotta go through 4 of them, so there's literally no audio for like 3 channels, and it chooses that one.
Oh man!
And it was literally 2 hours of just nothing, no audio, just silent.
Oh man!
Oh yeah.
And y'all had a 2-hour conversation.
We had a 2-hour conversation. We went through a ton of different things.
Dang.
It was poor on my part because I didn't, you know, like we're having a good back and forth right now because I can think clearly. I couldn't think clearly. He was very much carrying our conversation.
Gotcha.
I will get him back on and we will rectify this obvious injustice. But until then, this is exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to being on the show.
No, man, it feels good, man, and I think that's just exactly how I feel. The only thing missing, like you said, is like a beer. Like that's literally the only thing missing.
I thought about having those, but they don't allow alcohol in here unless it's a special occasion.
Copy that.
If you remember, actually, when I first opened, like I snuck in some alcohol to drink in here. I had a Crown and King glass. And I drank at least one of them. But I had some buddies over who brought some beers, and we just had a little bit of a get together and just hung out for a while.
Yeah.
No, at some point I'm gonna get like a fridge and have like actual drinks in here when I can afford to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was even thinking, man, I don't know, like maybe, of course, it might not even be the format, but even like once in a while, out of nowhere, like setting up at a bar would be really crazy, right? Like, because you said that, and I immediately thought, like, imagine having some of this stuff set up like at a bar, just chilling. Like, for example, like Tipsy Skipper or like Mutiny Bar. It's going to be a pirate bar that's going to be opening up soon downtown. It'd be crazy. Like, kind of like on their downtime, like when they first open up, when there's not a lot of people there to kind of like set up a podcast. That'd be so different, right?
Oh, it would be. That's actually something I can do pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
I got a little audio box that's just USB, and
that's cool.
Grab these microphones, set them up on a bar table, plug them into the laptop, and I could just go. It'd be pretty easy.
That'd be cool.
Just bring one camera.
Yeah.
Just set it up as, point it at. It'd be. The only problem is, you got people who are getting intoxicated.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of.
Or you just might have to set it up in a situation where, maybe it's like in the morning, like nobody's there. It's just, a bar hand, the bartender's there. And then we're there doing a show. It's just kind of I've never seen anything like that personally. And it's come from the idea of what you said, like, just like two people, you meet somebody for the first time having a beer. And I'm like, what if the podcast was actually at a bar? Like, that'd be crazy.
That would be a fun special to do.
Yeah, like, this is special.
You should look for maybe like a partner and maybe do it once a month. Like, find some bar and have it as like come on, just have a cool conversation.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What would we even call it, right?
I know. Bar talk.
Bar talk.
I don't know. It seems
bar
like
babble.
Bar babble. We're about to copyright that, guys. Nobody take that. Microphones on the wall here, taking our stuff. Bar babble. That's cool.
That'd be fun. You just have an underlaying audio track of just like people talking in the background.
Like the clink, when you're talking, you hear, you hear the people in the background, like.
Actually, that was one of the things I was gonna get for the studio, right? I was gonna get like one of those bar, like a 4-stool bar to put like over there, so people could watch the show and just. That was a thought.
That's cool. You do have room,
dude. I wish I had the money to do all the things I'd like to do.
I mean, speak it into existence, man. Manifest that, man.
I'm trying, man.
You got a good setup right now. That's all I gotta say.
Well, like I said, I do things right.
Yeah.
That's why I had some issues with Pappy's audio for yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a little bit of distortion, and it freaked me out the entire night. I put some filters on it and rendered it out.
Yeah.
And I listened to it this morning, and it was like one word, and I was like. But it's like, yeah, I'm very much a perfectionist in like, whenever I see something, it's like it could be better, right?
Yeah.
I want my work to be where my professionalism is.
Yes.
While I'm not professional myself, I like my work to be.
No, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, and like I said, walking into your studio, it feels that way. It feels professional. It feels legit. You are legit. Like, you are professional with what you got going on, because yeah, man, it's just it's a vibe, and it definitely helps to set the tone.
Well, thanks, because
that's for sure.
I definitely don't feel like a professional. Is that weird thing, right? You know, when you're I guess it's still that like childishness where it's like you don't feel like an adult, really.
Yeah.
And it's like I come to work each day and I'm like, am I like a real? Am I like respectable or something? Because like you get those.
Am I an adult?
Yeah, right. You get this. Am I adulting properly? Because you get those comments like what you just said, where it's like super professional. It's really impressive, and I'm like, yeah, but this is just my studio.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting we're even on this topic, right? Like not feeling like an adult, because I remember the first time I actually felt like an adult was my goodness, I was in my early I'm 37, so I think I was like maybe 31 or 30 years old, and I was a teacher. I had just became a middle school art teacher, and I was like, I'm responsible for all these kids.
Yeah.
I think I'm an adult now. You know, like before that, because I'm seeing, like, I'm not married. Have a beautiful girlfriend, but I'm not married, no kids, and you know, I don't know, like I never felt like responsible for like a life or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I haven't even had a pet, right? I don't have a dog.
You ever had a pet?
No. You know, it's funny. I grew up. My mom didn't like dogs, and we were never allowed to have like dogs or anything. It had to be underwater. So I mean, I've had like a fish, but like, all right. But anyway, so I had never really been responsible for anything like that. And so like the first time that I became a teacher, and I was like, okay, these are my kids. These are my kids in my classroom. I'm going to see them every single day. I'm responsible for them. Like, that's when I felt like I became an adult. Yep.
My best moment where like the kind of realization hit me, and I was talking to Anthony about this right after it happened, was actually when I was talking to Ziggy, and we were all sitting in here planning the D&D production, right? And I had that realization that I'm like a big partner in getting this thing done, and they respect and rely on me to provide the production service. And I'm like,
yes.
Wait
a minute.
Am I an adult now?
There's other adults that are looking at me to get something done. I'm an adult.
Yeah. It's
oh, no, trust me. I feel the same way.
Because, there's a joke that me and my aunt have all the time, and it's like, man, I hate adulting.
Yeah.
And it's like, she laughed at me yesterday because I came into her house to have dinner, and I was super tired because I had been playing like 3 hours straight of ping pong with Anthony.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm so tired. And she goes, yeah, me too. And I'm like, man, what'd you do all day? I just finished playing 3 hours of ping pong. And she's like, I was working all day. And I was like, I was too, but it just wasn't. It's not the same kind of work.
Yeah, it's a different kind of work, networking.
Well, that's what I say the ping pong is. And it is.
It is.
The D&D production actually came about because Ziggy would just walk through the room.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned to him something about D&D, and I was like, yo, I play D&D.
Yeah.
Because I do. And every time we would walk by, we talk a little bit more about it. And then at that Million Cups, when Lugo was here, we brought him in, and we just had the conversation about it.
Wow.
The planning. And it's like, yeah, I'm an adult.
Yeah, no, it's like, they always say, and I mean, I am not good at golf, right? But they always say, like, deals are made on the golf course. But I think it's really just like the sport of it all. Like, being in a sport or being in a situation where you're hanging out with other people and you're able to play a sport and you're playing ping pong, and in between matches or whatever, you take a little breather, you talk a little business, you do a little networking, and a lot can happen. So I think it's actually really cool that the power plant has a ping pong table.
Oh, yeah,
and it has some other stuff too.
Did you see the picture that Pappy put on the wall?
No.
He put a picture of the ping pong table, and it's in black and white with a text on it that says, "This is where real men are forged in the trials."
I love that, man.
He absolutely tilted me today playing ping pong.
Yeah.
He started trying to get aggressive again, and he was just demolishing me. And he repeatedly just kept hitting the one ball that I can't hit over and over again, and just scoring free points. And
Oh my goodness.
he legitimately made me mad today, and I haven't been mad at ping pong for like a couple weeks now.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all boys look kind of serious. Every time I walk in here and you guys are playing ping pong, I'm like, I don't think I belong here. Because everybody's fake. I don't really see a lot of smiles in there. I just kind of see a lot of seriousness in there.
Oh, there's a lot of seriousness.
Yeah.
It's funny because some of the people who don't play ping pong in the building, they walk by either back from lunch or they're leaving, and they're like, "Do you guys actually work?" Because the only time everybody leaves, we all come out at the same time. Whether for lunch or at the end of a day shift, and we just start playing ping pong, man.
Lately, when I come, I'll come like later, like 3 or 4, and there's usually somebody playing ping pong. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. I actually think it should be like culture, like after 1 million cups for people to play ping pong.
Oh, I do too.
Or something like after 1 million cups, because I feel like 1 million cups is at times I love it, but like sometimes people just take it like so serious, and like everybody's just like like real serious, and they come in, and
well, that's usually the people who aren't like here frequently, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like the older guys who always sit in the back over there, they're like super jokey the entire time they're here. Mm-hmm. Then you get the people who like dress up all business
like
formal.
real business formal.
Yeah, and it's just like I kind of laugh because it's just like.
Yeah, I mean, because it's 1 million cups, and the thing is, of course, first of all, 1 million cups, like so many amazing companies have been revealed, and so many companies have gained a lot of traction and success because of 1 million cups. But I've always looked at 1 million cups as a very relaxed environment that, and I think it's just because the power plant too is just a super relaxed environment where people are conducting business, people are making money, they're making connections, they're networking, but like. I don't know, like when I see somebody come in like full suited and booted, like like just ready to execute, and I'm like, it's kind of casual here. So I feel like tennis, ping pong. Like if everybody was just like to play a couple rounds or something of ping pong at the end, like at the very end of like Tyler would be like, all right guys, at the end of 1 million cups, everybody meet downstairs for ping pong. I feel like it would loosen people up.
The residents here do that though. We were down there right afterwards at 11.
Okay.
And we were playing until like 12:30 ish.
That's awesome.
Actually, that was one of the things I wanted to start doing was like after this show each time, just have like a little ping pong match right afterwards, right? No, this place is definitely built a very nice culture.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
It wasn't like that like 2017, 2018 when I worked for Tom here. I don't think I ever saw anybody in like, and I mean like legitimately, I didn't see anybody.
Yeah,
and I came in like 5 days a week to run Tom's show.
Wow.
And I didn't see anybody except for Jessica the times that I locked my keys in the studio. Mm-hmm. And I came to realize the ping pong table didn't exist then.
Yeah, I was gonna say like so they didn't have like the games and the couches and all the like the chill, like what I like to call the chill spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't have any of that. At least not as far as I can remember. And nobody ever came out of their office or anything. The only people who I think I ever met in the building, besides for Jessica at the time, was the people who were in that big room right next to Taylor and John's.
Okay.
And they were a VR company, and they were
nice.
They were super cool. I went in there one day because they wanted to show me or get someone to touch because they made like VR like medical software.
Really?
Yeah, it was like training software. It was really cool. They had me come in and play with their VR equipment, and I legitimately afterwards I went to Best Buy and bought a VR headset.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you the company, but it's probably not who I thought you were about to say VR Armageddon, but they're a company that puts on like VR battles for like conventions and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they are anymore. I don't even know their name. It was so long ago, but they were super cool.
That's cool, man. It's interesting. I didn't know that the power plant existed. Like, I didn't know you guys were open that long.
Oh no, it's been open longer apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think Jeff said like the 80s.
What? Like,
yeah,
but with the same business model, like the different, like different businesses.
I think this building's been around since the 80s.
Copy that.
But I think I think it's been the CEP building since
I
like
see.
2010ish, around that area.
Okay.
It's been a while because Ryan talked about it too, because the culture used to be super strict.
Yeah.
Like I remember this place being like just kind of a cold place, and getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I got some serious trouble here
Yeah.
at one point, which I don't think I can go into
No.
because it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of a cold environment for a long time.
Yeah, no, and I don't feel that at all here. Like I definitely, and I don't, it's funny because I always joke with Ryan about this, that I'm like, I don't really know who's in charge here because they don't act, how can I say this? I'm going to try to say this the best of the way that I can, like respectfully. They're leaders, right? And they're in charge, but it's like they're so good at being leaders that you don't know that they're the boss. That's the best way to explain it.
I've had that same thing, because it's like you get really casual around them, and then you forget
Yes.
that they're actually like the business in charge.
Yes, like, because for example, like Ryan. Okay, so Ryan is the boss of the whole place.
I think he's the vice.
Okay.
The vice president or something of the CEP building, something like that.
Okay.
Jess is like in charge of business development.
Okay.
Tyler is in charge of, like, I think acquisitions of businesses
Copy
into
that.
Ocala and something like that. And then I think, what is her name? Oh my God, I'm blanking on her. Rose Edda, something Edda. What's her
Oh
name?
man,
I can't
I'm
remember
drawing
her
a
name.
blank. Sorry, we're so sorry.
Yeah, she's in charge of. I think she's about like training
Okay.
business owners into like successful, making them successful in order to like know how to run their business.
That's awesome.
God, I am blanking on her name, and it's really annoying me. I think that's what they usually do, and I've met the like actual president one time.
Yeah.
I think, and I couldn't even tell you his name. But
Okay.
he's Sherrietta? Sherrietta, that is her name.
Okay. Yeah.
She's,
I've heard of Sherrietta.
She's super nice too.
Okay. And so that's a leadership team.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. See, and it's like, the only way that I can explain it is that they have really built a really great culture here, because when you come in, it definitely feels warm, and you know what I'm saying? Like, not that people are just like hanging out on couches all day, not working, because people are actually working here, but you could tell that it's okay to just be you.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I have always felt about the power plant, is that when I walk in, I can be unequivocally who I am. I'm quirky, I'm weird. Half the time I'm covered in paint. Nobody's ever like, what are you doing here? Like, they just help me feel welcome.
Well, it's so funny because I still like revert into that kind of cold feeling every once in a while. Like because I stay here late. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here usually till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Is usually when I end up leaving, because I just hang out here because I have no real reason to be at home.
Yeah.
I basically sleep at home, do laundry, and then come here, and I'm
Yeah.
here all day. And when you get coming in and leaving like that, it kind of has that kind of colder feeling,
Yeah.
where it's like you feel like you're doing something wrong or something. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
'Cause, like, I definitely got in trouble being here late when I worked for Tom.
Gotcha.
It's weird. It's like something that just doesn't leave, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like they don't really care what you do here as long as you're not doing something illegal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying all the what is it? The culture of like business incubation here in Ocala, because we are at I'm at Workspace, and so they consider me like the resident artist there.
Is that the one that where Brick City Bicycles used to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's really cool, man. Like there's different offices in there. There's dedicated desks, people working at dedicated desks. Companies have offices there. You have everything from like mortgages in there to an artist to like a video company to like a nonprofit organization. There's just so many different things going on there, and I feel the same way about here. You have Pappy's here. He's like a visual artist, muralist, puppeteer. He produces his own show. Then you have your company. You're producing podcasts. Then you have, oh my God, Tay and all of them doing amazing things with coding. And there's just so many. Then there's a media company here. There's just like, it's just all encompassing. And I just love that the culture. I feel like Ocala is really embracing that. So
Well, what's really neat too about this place is the like kind of cross pollination that everyone has going here.
yeah.
Like Pappy's been doing some editing work for Emmett and them
Oh,
for
nice.
their GMB, Google My Business. Yeah,
Yeah.
been doing some editing work for them. I was actually trying to pick some of that up to get
Yeah.
a little more income for this place. Then there's like Taylor doing work for people. I think there's at least 3 businesses in here doing stuff for just the CEP themselves. Like I know Taylor and John have
That's
been doing some
amazing.
stuff for the CEP. I do the streaming for the Million Cups, and I think someone else in here is doing something for them as well.
That's
So
awesome.
there's just a lot that goes on around here.
Yeah. No, that's amazing, man.
I'd like to see this place where everybody in the building is like actually here, because if you walked around, there's definitely offices where there's just nobody in there.
Yeah.
They just hold on to their office space.
Yeah. That is one thing though. I mean, I have noticed kind of the same familiar faces, great faces, but the same familiar faces, and then I also noticed that there's some offices that are empty or I just never see them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would be cool to see like full capacity, right?
Yeah,
Like everybody kind of.
I think there's like 2 offices downstairs that one company owns, and they don't use them at all.
Yeah.
There's the big office that VR company used to be in. They have it like booked for a year. It's like a horse marketing company or something.
Okay.
And they don't have any plans of moving into the office. There's another one by the elevator that I don't think, or that someone finally came back to 2 days ago.
Oh,
And we're
okay.
in there for like the first time, and Taylor and John hadn't seen them in months apparently.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but they just don't show up to their office space. They just have it held down. And
Yeah.
I think it's kind of shitty that they just hold the office space down. And
Yeah. That's kind of weird. I feel the same way over where I'm at too in my gallery. There's some spaces that nobody occupies them. Like there's furniture in there and stuff, but like nobody is there. And I'm like, guys, you realize that that hurts the plaza like that I'm in, because it's just, if people were always working there, then there would be a steady flow of people just naturally coming to the plaza. But I'd say about 50% of that plaza, people are not normally working in their offices. It's like, why would you just hold it?
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. Because I mean, not only is it just you're throwing money away, right?
Yeah.
But you're removing the opportunity for the people who could actually come in and use that space. Like, it just happened that the person who was like 3 offices here and doesn't use any of them, I happened to meet at CF when I was going there to inquire about something. He was there donating some supplies to them.
Yeah.
And I learned just through listening to him speak before I actually spoke to him that he has like a big office building somewhere else in town. He's like moved out of here pretty much entirely, but he just holds on to his old office space in here. And it's like, why are you doing that? I mean, if you're not going to use it, then let it go.
Yeah.
You've clearly gotten it successful enough that you can move out on your own, and you don't need it. Let someone new come in. 'Cause apparently, we're like I think it's per capita the largest entrepreneurial per year.
Yep.
Place in the U.S. Just new businesses starting up.
Yeah. That's gonna be good. Ocala's definitely blowing up, man. It's exciting.
It's funny. You say that. My family, when they moved down here 24 years ago now, I think.
Wow.
The reason they moved down here was because it was supposed to blow up, but I guess they were a couple decades early, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, now, going to CEP and understanding the growth and looking at the numbers, like, definitely, like, the numbers don't lie.
Well, it's so weird, too, because
Yeah.
you don't think of this place as, like, a city or, like, a large town or anything.
No.
But you get out and you actually explore, and it's not that it's, like, a large town in the sense of, like, things are just stacked on top of each other. It's just so spread out.
Yeah,
and
we are definitely
dense.
spread out and dense. And my biggest concern is the roadways, man, and transportation. I don't think we're ready for that.
Yeah, the really big stuff to come in.
I don't think we're ready for that, man. And that is my biggest concern. 200. I'm thinking about like 200. Thinking about 275 right there. Like some of these major arteries, like we can't expand out. So in regards to the roadway, so I don't know how we're gonna successfully get people where they got to get to in the next 10 years. I'm just kind of concerned.
Not to mention that, but I'm really concerned because the majority, I think it's 60% of our economy is the elderly. in Ocala.
You said 60?
I think it's around 60.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it is, and I might be confusing it with like the villages, but I'm pretty sure Ocala is majority elderly.
Yeah.
Because there's like where I used to live, I was surrounded by 55 plus communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so we live in a economy that's very what is the word? It's spendery, not really production oriented. There's actually like this kind of age pyramid of productivity,
I see.
and we're very kind of top heavy in it, where we don't have as many producers. We have a lot of consumers, and so we just don't have like there's not people spending money to develop in the ways that we need. If you get what I'm saying,
Yes.
And I'm probably
Yes.
saying it in a very poor way, but what we need is more people who are like exploding upward in terms of production.
Yes.
And we just don't have that.
Yeah.
Like I've heard a lot just from a bunch of people that doing media work in terms of like videography and stuff just doesn't really exist here because they have no need for it and the type of people who are here. Right.
Yeah, and I thought about that too, and that intrigues me too, right? Just because there's so many media companies, but you know, and that's I have thought about this for quite a while, and you know, I think it's really getting to a place. It's like, how do we attract? And I'm talking about the next 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we attract bigger progressive companies to come here so that videographers, photographers, all these people can eat? Because at the end of the day, many of them have to outsource. Many of them have to go to Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami. And I do believe that Ocala has what it takes. We just have to figure out a way to attract businesses and attract events and, you know, larger scale events that multiple, you know, photographers and videographers and media companies and firms and can eat off of. Because if not, we're all just going to be going for the same pie.
Well, that's the thing. There's just so many people who are in that space right now in this area.
Yes.
And there's just not the work. I mean, the ones who are successful here that I know of they're not working here. They're using this as a home base and working outwards, right? And a lot of that is just because the majority of the jobs here are for either medical professions or they're the restaurants. Because, I mean, you've been up 200. It's legitimately just like chain restaurants everywhere. Yeah. It's almost mom and pop style stuff just doesn't really exist in the kind of main area that people go to. Yeah. I think you only really see it in downtown, right?
Yeah, downtown right now, and even that I feel like is going to change when Mellow Mushroom comes in. I feel like that's going to change the landscape of downtown because we don't have any, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have any chain restaurants downtown.
No, I don't think we. I think the only chain thing we have there is I think there's a Starbucks, unless
True, you're right. Well, okay, now that we're saying that in that little strip, there's a Jimmy John's, and a Starbucks.
Well, are you talking about on the outskirts, more by 441?
Yeah, but I mean, even the heart, you know, I guess I'm just kind of, you know, where like Ocala Car and Audio, like I kind of take it all the way out there, right? Where Taco Madre and
I think of downtown, I mean like that main square where everyone hangs around.
Oh, I see what you're
saying. I know
saying.
They're trying to develop kind of past that by the old Marion.
Yes.
I know the guys who are trying to develop that building right now. I actually spoke to one of them last night.
Yeah.
He happened to be at my grandmother's house.
Oh, cool.
He wanted me to run a radio station in there, and that was actually how I ended up doing this because I wanted to run this for him. In the Marion Hotel. Yes. And instead I was just like, I'm just gonna do it myself if you don't believe in the style of the show. Yeah. And that's how we ended up here actually.
Okay. That's cool.
But no, they're developing that whole square over there, putting in restaurants and other types of things there too.
Yeah. It's gonna get interesting, you know. And again, I'll go back to this. I think my biggest thing that I don't. And I'm sure that they're looking at this. Like, I'm sure that whoever's in charge is looking at this, but it's transportation, man. Like, there's no way for us to build out downtown. There's no way for us to add traffic lanes. You know, like it's only, I don't know. I'm very intrigued how they're gonna tackle this. Like, I'm very intrigued, like how they're gonna get cars in and out as we grow.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of moved it further back more.
Yeah.
Like imagine it being a square and then they move it further out to the right. Cause then you could probably purchase that land because there's a weird network of roads over there, isn't there?
You're absolutely right.
So I mean, there's potential. I mean, they built the car garage so people could get in and around here. And I think they are expanding some of the lanes. Like if you go down 441 enough, where is it? That way?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's so
Yeah.
useful for all the people watching or listening. But I know by my house in that direction, they're expanding the roads out
Copy that.
right now out into Bellevue.
Okay. That's good, man.
So there's potential. But what do you think? You think we got through enough right now?
Yeah, man.
Wanna wrap it up?
Good. Let's wrap it up, man. It was great.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, EJ.
Yeah.
I think we had
It was
really,
awesome.
a really good conversation.
Yeah.
I think we went through a ton more than I was expecting we were going to go through.
Yeah, we're talking about transportation in Ocala.
Yeah.
We went from Star Wars to DnD to Ocala transportation. Man, this is a full episode.
Things that I know so much about, too. Right?
Exactly. We're so learned in these things.
All right. I'm going to have Greg on probably next week when we get
That's
a
awesome.
chance. And,
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah, funny thing about that. he sent me a message telling me to give him a list of like questions so he could like prepare himself.
Yeah.
That's where I came up with the beer fish thing. I'm not gonna sit down with you in like one of those big high top chairs and we're gonna be all. You know.
So what? Let's talk about the next topic and the next.
Yeah, I don't work for Fox News, CNN, or any of those other ones. You know, we're gonna have a fun conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
Where can people find you again so that we can get that out there?
Yeah, no, for sure. Check me out, Official Ness. That's at Official N as in Nancy, EHS as in Super. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right. And this has been the Zeneration Nation podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, enjoyed our conversation, and you want to support us, all you have to do is either like the video, leave a comment, because I will read it, subscribe, and share the video, because the more shares you get around, the more people we get to watch it, the faster we'll grow, the more interesting people will be on. At some point, we're going to grow to the point where we can pull people out of state to come in.
Let's go.
Yeah, and we're working on right now to get video calls working so we can do live over just like not necessarily what is it, Zoom, but just over a call, and we're gonna have the option to go with that option so we don't always have to rely on everybody locally. It's gonna be really good. So if you're interested, stay tuned, and we'll have someone coming up next fairly shortly. Have a good day, everyone. And you're good.